Good morning students. In this video we are going to see about some of the 2 mark question answers in servlet. It's a recap of servlet what we saw. Okay, and what is servlet? It is a server-side programming language and it is used to create dynamic web pages, and it generates web page as a response of the request received from the client. Okay, so servlet means it is used to generate dynamic web pages. What is the difference between static web page and dynamic web page? The name itself, static, means it won't change. Dynamic means it is a changeable one. So static web page means web pages which are same for all the users, which content won't be changed, and that is called as a static web page. And then dynamic web page means it is generated based on the user request. Okay, and then what is the life cycle of servlet? What are the steps available in servlet? First one is loading of a servlet class, and second step, server instantiation. Loading of a servlet class means the container finds a servlet class which is available in the web.xml. All the files and details are available in web.xml, so that container, in the servlet lifecycle all the works are done by the container, so it find out the servlet class in the web.xml and loads it. So servlet name, everything is available in web.xml. And the next step, servlet instantiation, initialization phase. So these are the main 3 phases. Initialization phase, it is called by init method, and then servicing. Servicing means request and response, and then last step is destroy. Then whatever created will be deleted, that is free up of servlet instance, that is called the destroy method. And then why we use servlet? Servlet, it is used to process the input data given by the user, okay, from the screen, and then it generates a dynamic response to the user based on the request. Based on the request, it will give response also and process the user request. So, and it is an ideal programming language for interacting with the database based on the user request also, and it can handle multiple requests simultaneously, and it is suitable for it is a perfect choice to perform applications, for the high performing applications. And then why servlet is better than CGI? In general, servlet responses are faster than CGI. Before servlet, and we are using common gateway interface CGI, compared to that it is faster, and then implementing servlet is also easy compared to CGI, and memory consumption also low. Okay, when it is loaded, when the servlet container receives the first request from the client itself, it is loaded, and then 3 ways are there. And second one is admin of the application manually can load, and then when the web server gets started also it will be loaded. And then what is the servlet interface? Servlet interface, it is an API for the servlet. There are 2 ways are there. Every servlet should either implement the servlet interface or extend the class which already implements the interface. Two things, Java servlet, generic servlet, and then Java servlet HTTP request. These are the 2 servlet classes that implement servlet interface. So every servlet should either implement servlet interface directly or by extending any of the classes. Then what is servlet config? It is an interface belongs to the package javax.servlet.servlet config, and it is used for passing the configuration parameter to the servlet. Okay, servlet container instantiate this. So whatever work that is initialized by the container only by using this interface servlet config. So many methods are available there that we saw already. By using that method, that all the details are collected. Then what is servlet context? Every web application has a common servlet context. This context means this is common for a whole application, and all the servlet in the web application can access this servlet context, and it has a web application information and resources which are common, and it is available to all the servlet of a one application. What is the difference between the servlet config and context? First one is config is used to for passing the information to the servlet, while context provides the methods which the servlet class can use to communicate with servlet container. And second main difference is each servlet has a separate config object. For config object is separate for each and every servlet, and the context is common for all the application. What is the difference between generic servlet and the HTTP servlet? Generic servlet is an abstract class which implement servlet interface. So, and HTTP servlet extends generic servlet class. So, generic is an parent class for this HTTP servlet. And second one, generic servlet means it won't support protocol, but HTTP servlet it supports protocol. And generic servlet cannot handle cookies and session. HTTP can handle this. And then what is the difference between forward and send redirect? Forward means it forwards the same request to another resource, but send redirect means new request is sent to the redirected resource. And then second difference, forward is taken care by the servlet container, and then redirect is handled by the browser. See the difference? Forward is handled by the servlet container, and then redirect is handled by the browser. And then third difference is in forward the URL remains same on the browser, but in send redirect it changes in the web browser address bar, and forward is a faster compared to redirect. Okay, then what is deployment descriptor? Web.xml is the file of the web application is known as a deployment descriptor. Okay, it is placed where it is placed in the application. If you open this, it is placed under the topic web inf. If you click on this folder, you will get this XML file. Okay, and it has information like servlet name, servlet mapping, and this file tells a container. So container gets all the details by using this .xml only. Okay, this file tells a servlet container which servlet class needs to be called for the given URL pattern. What is the difference between do get and do post methods? In do get method, the parameters are visible. This is a main different and important question. Do get here parameters are visible in the address bar and they get appended to the URL. But do post parameters are not visible in the address bar, and we can transfer 1024 characters through get request, but do post does not have any limitations. Okay, and then do getter, it is not good for if you want to send sensitive information, then it is not good if you use this do get. So when we are transmitting sensitive information, we have to use this do post. Okay, and do get allow you to bookmark the resource, but it do post does not allow it, and do get is faster compared to do post. And then what is the use of load on strap? It is used for specifying the servlet files which needs to be loaded during server startup. When we are going to start up the servlet, this load on startup is used for specifying the servlet files, and they are specified in the servlet files specified in this element are loaded as soon as the server starts. So whenever the server starts, these files are loaded. It does not wait for the first request, so it won't wait for any request. Whenever the server started, it is loaded. Okay, and this is how it is specified in web.xml file. How it is specified is like this order. See in the coding it's given my servlet name here, and then load on startup 1, load on startup, and then /servlet. If more than one files are specified, then the files will be loaded in the same order in which they have specified. So what are the different types of session tracking mechanisms? URL rewriting, and then header form fields, cookies, source socket layer sessions. Then how URL rewriting maintain session? In URL rewriting method, the session tracking the session tracking data has been appended at the end of the URL track of the session. So rewriting means we are adding at the end of the URL. Then what is servlets chaining? It is a concept where the request is processed in the chain of servlets. That means so many servlets are forwarding the request from one to another. First servlet processes the request. Partial work are done by every servlet and the control is transferred to one by one. First servlet processes the request partially, then it is processed to second servlet and then to third, and partially it will work like this. The information is passed from one to other. Then how to invalidate a session in servlet? By calling session.invalidate method. What are the functions of servlet container? Mostly it will do most of the works for the servlet. It handles servlet lifecycle and interaction between servlet and the web server. It provides multi-threading supports for processing more than one request, and then it manages a web.xml file also. Then what is servlet lazy loading and how lazy loading can be avoided using load on startup. That means lazy loading means whenever the request came after only it is loaded. The serverless container does not initiate the servlet on server startup. By default it won't do. Whenever it only initializes the servlet when it receives a request from the client. Whenever there is a request from the client, then only it will be initiated. That is called as lazy loading. To avoid this, what to do? By specifying load on startup element for our servlet. By using this load on startup, this can be avoided. So lazy loading can be avoided. That is, the servlet file specified in the load on startup are loaded as soon as the web server starts, because this load on startup will start as soon as the web server starts. Okay. And then when the servlet is unloaded, that is, admin manually can do this, or when we shut down this web server, then it will be unloaded. Then how servlet maintains session using cookies? Cookie means it is a small piece of information which is sent by the servlet to the web browser. So and get stored in the browser and returned back to the server when needed. Whenever needed, it is actually these cookies are stored in browser only. Whenever needed, it's sent to that server. Okay, and it has a name, single value, and few other parameters related to the user and website name and everything. Why we are using cookies for session tracking is a bad practice, because some of the advantages are there by using these cookies. Since cookies are stored in client side, it will not be available if a client browser clears or disable the cookies. If a client browser disables it, it will be deleted. So implementing cookies for session tracking is little difficult compared to other session management, and it will be work only on HTTP protocol. Then how do we get server information in servlets? Using get server context dot get server information. And next question, how do we get an client IP address in servlets? By using this dot request dot get remote address function. And what are all the protocols are supported by HTTP servlet? HTTP and HTTPS are secured protocol. This HTTPS means. Okay. And then what all protocols are supported by generic servlet? It is not specific to any protocol. It is an protocol independent. Okay. Okay, thank you students.